You must have been very eepy because you have no idea. You literally were sure Chiron to walk into frame and waved and made a comment in chat afterwards that you were there. Oh, settings, here it is. Full screen? Hey, now it's screwed up on your end. Okay, it's when you were visiting us in Cambridge for a while. It's okay. Alright, we will not be skipping transitions here. Hell yeah, you'll love to hear it. Big fan of that food poisoning. Alright, let's see. I played the tutorial on this. Which I'll probably try to replay it. I don't know, we're gonna find out. Alright, I'm gonna move myself into the corner in the upper right for now. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You'll make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. Oh, you know what? You probably want to see my mouse cursor here. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. Hey chat, are we humans or demons? I'm gonna get a soda. Punch Muffin! Punch Muffin, thank you so much for that subscription. You missed me going through my Facebook page. Oh, but, I don't think I actually explained. My friend Katrina is the one who made me that. Who made me Christmas Duck based off of, Gone Home. Alright, we are clearly demons. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy minding your own business. How will you interact with the human doll? Chat. Are we gonna attack it or are we gonna play nice? Human doll will remember those. Chiron wants us to play nice. Everyone wants us to play nice. You try to make friends with the human doll, but it kills you in cold blood. How ruthless. You found your very first bad end. But don't worry. The story you need not ends here. Hey Cass! Oh, that's awesome! Let's reset the stage and try again. This time try controlling the other doll. You control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy just minding your own business. How will you interact with the demon doll? You kill the demon doll this time, and it doesn't resist. This is all because you chose to play nice in the first round. Are the mechanics becoming clear? Now that you know the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. You just saw these behaviors will automatically be set to whatever you chose during your last playthrough. But for now, you can turn each one without having to replay from the doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now try turning the doll's behaviors on and off to see the different outcomes. Let's go. Wicked and hostile. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy just minding your own business. We're gonna attack. You both attack each other and die together. End tutorial. Alright, everybody. Hero, Maiden, Underling, or Overlord? Overlord is cute. But the Maiden... Okay, Alright, we've got 2 overlords and, I guess 2 or 3 underlings. 3 underlings. 1 maiden. I think underling is winning this. Wait, we got 3 overlords, 3 underlings, 4 underlings, and 1 maiden. Alright, we're gonna go underling first. Roles are so formal. You're a demon underling in service of the overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way up here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place and staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go wild if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and questioning obedience, and you wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, and the conversation turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction.
It's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock.
I'm gonna get my meds. Let me know if we're overthrowing or not overthrowing. Overlord too cute. Overthrow her. Let's be her footstool. Chiron has third priorities. When you start calling the Overlord mommy is then when you run into problems. Alright, so let's see. No. Yes, no is what we got. Alright, I'm flipping a coin because we're tied. Heads overthrow, tails not. We're not overthrowing. You tell your friend you were totally not serious about this whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably and there's nothing to do. Alright, meds are taken. The others nod, but don't seem too convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free, and I'm sorry, my voice sounds different. Estradiol underneath my tongue. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. Chat? I will be taking options and they're my own. Don't say vor! It's a forbidden word around here. Alright, that's it, we're eating her. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden with so much of a second thought, you feel quite proud of that. Other humans would simply praise you with would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see, and oh man, someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander a nearby village. The people are screaming and run away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Chat? Why does this have a skull next to it? You attack the nearest human. He is old and weak and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience screams and screams grow louder. Applause! Change your mind and leave. You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. You take shot in one swift blow. Just a demon underling, after all. As you die, you think that was totally worth it. Curtain closes. Performer underling end. In-fucking-credible. Should we, where to next? Okay, wait, okay. Maiden and Overlord were tied before. No one wants to see the hero. You're the Maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon Overlord's castle. You're told you're fated to be captured by the Overlord one day because you're a beautiful young girl. Demon Overlords apparently love capturing those. Think of how you haven't heard... You think of how you haven't actually heard that happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't given the opportunity? Who knows? You're at a church, you pray to your god asking why you have been born to this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You're really impatient. Getting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find demon. You know, just to see what happens. Not long after your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Introduce yourself. Well, we know what they're gonna do. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting. A lot. How painful. The plan of yours was completely stupid. Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you're swallowed by the demon until you're no more. Hold on. Yep. You tell the demon your name and explain you are the maiden from the village. The demon jumps you and starts biting. Alright, let's go! Alright, maybe we need to be less hungry. We can change the underling's path of everything here. Now, what if he's disloyal, or disloyal and not hungry? Yeet! Introduce yourself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away to the demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you're introduced to the Overlord. He lectures the underling who brought you here, who was apparently told not to leave their post. You wonder what cruel punishment awaits them, but you're surprised she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed, and the Overlord turns to you looking very interested. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying. Doesn't really seem like it. Still, doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out. Something awful would happen, and then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. It makes it sound so simple. The Overlord seems to be the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude, you just got here. We're not leaving. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. He's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize they may not be ruthless monsters like you are raised to believe. Turns out she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize this must be why you never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. As you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of seeing her servants getting killed off by them. You always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but you realize you're just trying to live their lives the same as you, and you feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I said was to deceive you, and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kinda like being told not to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with the Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. And then a hero barges into the room. His clothes are stained by dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon, too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you are never in any danger. The Overlord has walked past the hero and out into the hall. She's wailing. You can only guess what horrible scene he's left for her. The Overlord tears the hero apart in retaliation. You watch silently, unable to scream. The Overlord, who you'd just been getting along with so well, has killed another human right in front of you. Though you've been deceived by her sweet words. Humans are ruthless monsters after all. Somehow managed to slip past the Overlord and make out of the blood-soaked castle. You never look back. Alright, let's fix this. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You're told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped, and is likely being held captive at a nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You're born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. Demon soldiers block your path. You can kill them to gain experience. You make quick work of vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates and you're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. No way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. You attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing with suspicion. They can't help but to notice the demon blood from earlier if you haven't had the chance to wash up yet. Whoops. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Well, more experience for you. You make your way through the castle, fending off all the demons that stand in your way. You make it to the Overlord's chamber and hope you're still in time to save the maiden. Find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason you can't sense anything sinister happening? You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams and then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised about how strong you are. Escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. Villagers are very pleased with a good job you've done. Playing the Overlord and saving a hostage, they throw a huge celebration in your name. You're remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. That seems like a problem solved. Alright, what if we're not dutiful and not heroic? And you're not hungry. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. Oh my god. This is a vibe and a half. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero whose purpose in life is to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing. If you're quite honest with yourself, you don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You don't let them bait you into being an evil Overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to a higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into a room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. You're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What do you do with this underling? When we tell them to go back to work, it puts them on the path before. We're gonna give them the day off. You tell them to go take a break from stifling capital atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. They actually fine every now and then. Hey, they thank you and happily scurry off to do with who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the Overlord sure is great. You wake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier has brought back some company. The maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say she's been getting very impatient, thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but to regret to inform her that you've never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough? How could I become more maiden-like? Don't really understand the question. I think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. The first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. Enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expressed her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You're glad she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you instruct your army to avoid humans as not to agitate them and get heroes sent after you. Explains why people in my village have been left unharmed. Because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. I always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joked that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and that you're actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people of her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You're up to buy another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. Apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to be captured by your kind. Oh, captured? Not at all. I just wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything's explained, the hero expressed his relief that the whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confused feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised you had those to begin with. You're surprised you had one of those to begin with? You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't you? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero's cautious now. You won't let her go. Maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice but to destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened and you don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step towards the maiden and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. He wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that and you had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Alright, I think we need to... Hold on. We can solve this problem. Yeet. Tell the demon your name and explain you're a maiden from the village. Okay, wait, hold on. We can just skip straight ahead here to the next choice, probably. Hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks what's going on. And we explain the situation. He expresses his relief that the whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. Okay, thank you. The hero asks you to return to the village with them to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows you two to leave and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. About halfway back to the village when you feel something's off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. Stop in your tracks and the castle is engulfed in flames. Is the Overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this, you have to know! You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you run into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight, the handle's too hot to touch. Too weak to force it open, you pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you forgot your role. Only a hero could pull this thing off. You start to cough, and the smoke is too thick and you can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now, and you desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself. The fire spread faster than you expect, and you won't make it outside. You can't help but to laugh. What a joke, a maiden saving the Overlord? Just stay true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. It's exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. And you let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Alright, I think, hold on. We got this. Yeet! Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. You can't help but to return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll be able to rescue that deep maiden all on your own if you can't fight some lousy demon underlings. Take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. For a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates and you're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here, and they stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord and Maiden seems to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprising confusion. This is no time to hesitate. The Maiden explains she was never actually captured and she came here on her own volition. It was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you and reassure you of everyone's safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave and you casually exit the castle. You try to make conversation with the Maiden, but she's pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? Suddenly stops in her tracks and you turn around to ask what her deal is. The Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but to feel relieved you got the Maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off towards the burning castle. Panic sets in. You try to follow to try to stop her. The smoke is too thick and you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. Stand at the castle gates and your body won't allow you to another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the village or tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The Maiden was claimed by the demons. Come on, we can fix this! Is this your fault? Too surprisingly cool with it. You set on your adventure outside the castle. Okay, it's a favor to ask. You consider your options. Eat her! And we're gonna change our mind and leave. You figure the people are upset just at the sight of you, and they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you commit. Also, they might fight back. And then you probably wouldn't end well. You're just a little underling after all. Little day has been adequately refreshing and you return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. You don't get to sleep long, your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out. Being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Friends question your loyalty to their cause. Your friends seem pretty disappointed and they apologize to you. Before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Your claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered and you already know how things like this end. It's a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. And they slit your throat. Alright, we are not going to eat the Maiden. I just wanted to know if we just left. I think we need to be a tyrant so we can talk to them first. Okay, let's go. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would be even possible to understand each other before now. Maiden is going on some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill, and the bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it'd be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the Maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. And then we get raided by Xandra Vandra. Hello, Xandra! How are you doing? Hello and good morning, good afternoon. Are you ready to have a terrible day today? Welcome in, I hope you're doing very well. What were you up to, friend? Just a quick heads up, folks, people just getting here. This game is called Bad End Theater. Things have gone very poorly for everyone involved repeatedly. So, just a heads up. Hi Z, what were you up to? Skullman kills a lot. Also, everyone, if you're just getting here, hey, I'm Flannel Cat. I play video games. I hope you like that. We might get a good end. I don't know if they are good ends, but second Skullman fan game, hell yeah. Well, I can't time out Raichu Knight, so I'm gonna need someone's help with that one. Thank you. A lot for an incomplete demo. Hell yeah. Oh, hold on, let me mod you. There you go. So this is a game where things go very poorly for everyone repeatedly, and then we get to change people's choices and what decisions they make and try to find a better solution. Anyway, to set the scene, we are playing as the underling right now. And we asked the Overlord for a day off, and she's like, yeah, go ahead and have a day off. We ran into the Maiden because the Maiden was getting bored of waiting to get kidnapped. And we're gonna take her to the Overlord because she asked us to go see her. And there's a hero somewhere out there too. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long, your friends wake you up. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard and you ask them what their deal is. You say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord to put a new ruler in place. You want to hear if you're in or out. Being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. Alright, we're doing it. You tell them you're just joking and clarify you're totally in with it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the overlord, you know how bad it would be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry you've been getting yourself dragged into. Follow your friends outside the castle and talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any ideas about how they want to go about this. Figured to just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. What can go wrong in so many ways? But your friends are a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on. And while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Friends agree, and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this. But you can't really back down now. You have to be the one to assassinate the overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You and your friends notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed into the overlord's room? Fuck! The overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry it was all your idea, that you were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your plan. Can't believe they tell the overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in place. Be crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear her traitorous friends mutter something about getting back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the overlord and 2 humans. And then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them, and you wish he'd get that chance. The overlord grabs you by the throat and you cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're sure that they wouldn't have killed you if you sided with her. The overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Alright, what if we go on the overlord path now again? I'm gonna read all this that we've already seen again for new players' benefits. Also, the overlord is a 5.5. You're the overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants and a pretty cushy life if you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. You have a role called hero whose whole purpose in life is to dethrone you. Their deal anyway. You've actively avoided pissing off humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing. Where's my D20? You don't really understand the politics of it. That is a 13. But you remind yourself everyone's just doing their best to fulfill their roles, and you won't let them bait you into being an evil overlord they expect. I think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to a higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into the room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. Saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? You tell them to take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be nice every now and then. You thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. You wake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier has brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say she's been getting impatient about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough? How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that to stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is not the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. But this is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not all what she expected them to be. You're glad she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. Well, that explains why the people in my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We're all very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. This is why your servants are always getting killed despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and you're actually super evil all along. And the maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people of her village are a little exhausting at times. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You're tempted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero, who's apparently searching for a maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. The only reason I wanted to meet with the Overlord is Didn't you read the note I left behind? After everything's explained, the hero expresses his relief that the whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. Maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confused feelings well up in your heart, and you're surprised you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you, you just have to trust that, you decide. You're with the maiden gone, you plop down with comfort in your luxurious Overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? I hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep, and the maiden hero bursts into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell at them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone and keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. A group of demons start muttering about something about Plan A and slam your door. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is on fire. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You'd have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration you don't even notice you've grabbed the underling whose traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying that they've dragged you into this plot, knowing that they'd be killed and took your side. They cried they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Overlord's true end, fuck that! Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself? What was the point of all my effort if that true ending is terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain settling in? Oh. You should have been aware this is what you'd been shown when you entered this place. The problem I see quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater. My lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. Choices to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Ooh. I love flowchart. Yeah, this is very 999. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hero it up. We're gonna maiden it up, see what happens. I love this image of the maiden. She's so... Alright. We're gonna shout for a hero. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon is put off by your sudden shouting and asks you to keep it down. You apologize. They seem more confused than hostile, which just totally catches you off guard. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better. Okay, so we've seen this. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group. Now, what we just fast forwarded was all the stuff you basically saw as the demon overlord, just from the maiden's perspective, and we've seen it back on stream already. Enjoy writing. Thank you so much for that raid, Xandra. We're gonna find it, maybe. Near the castle entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. You're talking about assassinating the overlord. You have to warn her. Hero shakes his head, says that this is the true nature of demons. The world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think? What kind of hero passes up a chance to save a life? Demons have taken notice of you. Now or never. You take off into the castle and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst in the overlord's room and your words spilling out all over. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they are part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come in after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the demon overlord demands silence. She threatens him with violence, and you think she's very overlord-like in the moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they all locked you in? You have a bad feeling about this. In thinking, that must have jinxed it because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into the situation. You had just pretended to not hear them. If you had left as you were told, only the overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. Oh, you're right! Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. When the overlord seizes her underling and they beg for their life, you pray and you don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? Zoom. 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 You pause to see a group of demons, suspicious demons, standing near the entrance. Talking about assassinating the overlord. This proves you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden's thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping, and the maiden takes off into the castle. You have no choice but to follow. You burst in the overlord's room, and the maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just heard. The demon underling barges in, calling you liars, followed by a group from the entrance who shifts the blame back to the little one. Demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the overlord yells for everyone to shut up. You threaten them with violence. The overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. You have to cut through everyone and here to rescue this maiden. You certainly will. A group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. In the next moment, the overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. You gonna kill it as retribution? He continues to cry and make excuses, but that overlord does nothing. You're surprised she lets it go. Humans capable of mercy? It doesn't matter now. You'll all burn. Alright, we're collecting these true ends. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. Couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder if it'll happen if you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or... Now she started talking to you like for your friends or something. I don't understand humans at all. Speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you. Why is there conveniently only one language in the world? Demons and humans have independent societies. Wouldn't it make sense for them to have their own language? Maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's going to fulfill. Bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it'd be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Okay, yeet. Alright, we have to say this. You tell them you're just joking. Yep. You're surprised the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead, looking around. Just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying and the hero is silent. You'll all burn. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone, but retracting the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room for to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? There's nothing you can do by acting from within their story. Maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Hero on fire, maiden on fire, underling on fire, overlord on fire. Boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You didn't know you could do that. But what's going on here? Take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They don't look like they really know what they're supposed to do right now, but you guess that because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them?
I don't remember inviting you.
You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be... God, no. You're merely the player. If there was any god here, you'd be the final boss. That's how these role-playing games go. So now you realize what the true ending must be. No. Enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along. But a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way into the stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller. God of this world, call me tragedy if you like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send back to them to relive one of their many bad endings, do you? You're alone in the darkness with me, tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission, it's quite disrespectful. Then frankly, you should have never come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? I think defeating me just might be the only way to see a better ending. All that's left for you, isn't it? Well, does this sound like you've got... Does this sound like it could be entertaining? Show me what you've got. Stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Try your best to tear me down, but you can't do any damage. You truly don't exist in this world after all. Perhaps you don't understand how outclassed we are here. Behold my beautifully tragic tales. And seeing them all again make your heart ache. You witnessed 13 of my painstakingly crafted endings. Your heart does indeed ache for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all this? Do you truly care for them that much? They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here, to the end of the world. Right, you came here to save them. You can't do this alone. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? Explain that no, you're here not to serve her, it's more that you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army, and she laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans like my father before me. His quest for revenge was an endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. 1 second. You can't help but to think it's a little late in the game for getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on humans. I merely wish to be left alone to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize she must be actually very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The run for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well. I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. I see, so this is tragedy. You've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You prevented me from attaining peace so long ago. Prepare to die. I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor little guy. Are you some kind of demon? Explain that no, you're not a demon. You're... How do you explain it in a way the hero can understand? Then you ask what he's sewing. Oh, I craft my own hero gear. Since his pride in his hobby, you wonder if this costume's what attracted him to the role of hero. You like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide, yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. Make a living as a tailor rather than the hero? Please tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I need to follow you, but I didn't expect to face off with something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us, murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacked with a terrible fate. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church. Her heart setting on meeting a demon. Perfect timing! She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? Never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler, and well, maybe you are in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon? Hoping I'd meet one day. Think of all the terrible fates that would bring about. She's the catalyst of the story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wants to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden's confused from your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The run for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. And this should be familiar to you always. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty, as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? Explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding on their story right now. You tell the underling you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers and you ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life, and never get bossed around or picked on. Think of the underling's friends, who had bullied them into an assassination plot, only to betray them in the end. If they keep better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear, and you offer to change their fate. There's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle? The underling, You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. Beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Hope it won't be that easy. Oh, the whole party's here. Can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open your path to the true ending? Show me. The reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Maiden tries to appeal to tragedy with kindness. So naive, I'll balance your kindness with my cruelty. Alright. Hope then. Our true endings do exist, they simply must. Maiden hopes with all of her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Knock me down, I'll just come back stronger. The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. It's gotta be ambition, right? I'll reach my true end with my own power. Its overlord uses their ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. Everyone's hearts united, you take aim towards your best possible futures. You unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. You've done it. You managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for filling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Starring Heroes himself. Thank you, Maiden. Thank you, underling. And thank you, overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die. Don't worry. I'll be making my exit shortly. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it, I wonder? Thank you. I appreciate that. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. Oh, this is cute. Oh, that's rad, Cass. Yeah, go for it, Kat. Sure. I want to maybe collect some of the more of the endings. Oh, so you weren't done with my bad endings and now you're back for more. You'll have to cancel your true ending if you want to go back to the way things were before our final battle. Now we begin the resetting process. You have two options. If you missed out on seeing all 41 bad endings, you can keep your progress and reset to it before you started the true ending. Or you can erase all your progress and replay the game as if your first time. You can't take this back, so choose carefully. Progress has been reset. You're free to enjoy the rest of my bad endings. Alright. So all 41 endings. So there's more options in the Maiden path, right?
You don't know what's in there!
Alright, so we are not hungry, we are not disloyal. Oh wait, if I click on a path, does it preset things? Okay, so hold on, let's think about this. Let's make the hungry underling polite. Doesn't matter what she does, and we're gonna play as the hero here. Yeet. You're gonna flee? Ask if they'll let you in. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. You really never here? Wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord said that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that has come in here forever. At least that she knows of. In fact, you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but can't really prove she's lying otherwise. You'll apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero end. Yeet. Slaughter. Cut. Gather your courage. This is what must be done to rescue the maiden. They're all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. And that's what you tell yourself as you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears and demanding to know what the hell you've done, murdering all her soldiers. Straight to the point, ask her where the maiden is. Feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You only see one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred, and you fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces, and the Overlord has fallen. Breathe a sigh of relief, but your job's not finished. Search the castle, and unfortunately you find no sign of the maiden within the walls. Just as you suspected, she must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. Great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? Stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return home to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape and bring it back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Okay. Plays the demons. Fight your way to the castle. And we're gonna be not hungry. Okay, grant them the day off. Let her stay. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underlings roughhousing, no big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room, but he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there unsure of himself. He's covered in demon blood. The maiden speaks with him, trying to explain the situation. You move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle is really taking it out of you. That hero did this? There's so much blood. Why did he come for the maiden? Do you think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. No harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing. But you're beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You've had it with these humans always murdering your servants for no reason. You no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there's nothing left of the hero and the maiden has fled in terror. You're alone. Hold on. What if we... Let's see it from his side. She explains that she never came here on her own and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asks you why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door. You see your army in lifeless body piles. He's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. You lunge forward, driving your... Oh, we've seen this. Okay. Okay, back on the hero. Yeet. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. And we're gonna ask And just tell her it's a misunderstanding. You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you can explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord's inconsolable. She tears you apart and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but to think you probably deserve this. What is this ending here? Okay, so go down this path and try to slay her, and then the maiden has to do something else. Okay. Tries to kill the Overlord. Yeet. Introduce yourself. Hero suddenly dashes toward the Overlord, sword drawn. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny. You never thought you could have imagined this would be the way that you die. Roles are all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You're glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. Your vision fades, you hope everything turns out alright for your new friend. I need to see that from the Overlord side. Grant them the day. Let her stay. The maiden shouts something behind you. As you turn just in time to see her throw herself between you and the hero's blade. It pierces her chest and she falls to the floor lifeless. The pool of blood beneath her grows, so does your rage. The hero has taken everyone from you now. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for humans has not yet been sated. You go on and destroy them all and become ruler of the entire world. Surely, it will be fine. Oh wait, no, we have to try to kill her. Hold on. Slaughter, cut, ask, stab. You lunge forward to put an end to the evil Overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. You sacrifice yourself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The Overlord wails. Why did you do that? You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The Overlord strikes you in a vengeful rage, and you parry and she is slain. The sword feels heavy. You look at your hands and your clothes. Blood. So much blood. You look at the fallen maiden and wondering what to tell the townspeople. How would she protect the Overlord? Must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. Pick up the Overlord's head and wrap it in your cape. Begin your long journey back to home. Say you were too late. There's nothing to be done for the girl, but the Overlord is slain. There will be celebration. Hey, what goes on with this guy? What if we go down this path? After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by signs of battle. You emerge from your room to find the hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Who does this guy think he is, coming here to killing everyone like some kind of maniac? What did we do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving a sword to into the guard when someone who sometimes brought you food whenever you noticed you were feeling kind of down. You like that guard, and you wish all your demon heart that this hero would suffer for his deeds. And you bite into him and tear his flesh from the bones. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles and you feel his sword go through you, but there's no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero's overtaken, your army has won. You've earned your rest. Wait a minute. So what happens here? Okay. Well, okay, never mind. He comes here. Hero's blade pierces the Overlord and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds out his hand, saying it's time to go home. Glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle past the corpses of his enemies. Try to keep your eyes at your feet. There's blood everywhere and you shut your eyes, but even then you can't escape the smell. All this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle and the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons, and you feel sick. You take part in the festivities regardless. We need to find the rest of these verbs. Look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known far back as you can remember, and you feel glad not to be in their shoes. You also feel guilty for thinking this as you flee the castle, but you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. What kind of thing is expected of you? Maybe you'll start a new life far away from any humans or demons. Or you'll live peacefully alone in some deep dark forest somewhere. 'Cause these are not verbs. We need to find verbs for the underling. Okay, here we go. Granted the day off, polite. Disloyal, diplomatic. Polite, disloyal, diplomatic, and possessive. Polite. Something's wrong. Oh, hold on. He probably needs to be this. You tell them you're just joking, clarify you're totally in with it. Alright, skip. You sneak in the Overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. Watch the scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. He approaches the maiden you brought her earlier. With the Overlord distracted, you think there's as good a chance as any. It's not just sneak attack, getting her right in the back. He flinches, giving you the advantage to take her down. You rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. It's messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something in the corner. Thank you for saving me. It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. Tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves your castle. Your castle. You are the new Overlord. Wait, I want to see this from the maiden's side now. The Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her to plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. You won't let her go, then maybe demons are evil after all. If you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. Leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero and she tears it in with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches your throat. You watch because you can't look away. Has she really been lying to you all along? I wonder if this is your punishment for questioning the divine plan. The Overlord approaches you now and you back yourself into a corner. Your expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord is a horrible way like this. It was your destiny after all. The Overlord stops, or rather someone has stopped her. Whatever held back her scream before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord's being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. I think you recognize him, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now and the room is silent, save for the underling's heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel you've been rescued from a terrible fate, and they look at you confused for a moment, but then puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. I'd never leave home again for the rest of your life. Oofa. Alright, we need hero, sorry, flee, diplomatic, and possessive. Okay. Flee, diplomatic. The Overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous, and as a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like these. Tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil and you'll be forced to vanquish her. You'll leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You're helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way just to be met with this cruel fate. You destroyed those evil creatures when you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Hey, Ali. How are you doing? I wouldn't say that. See. Get here. So we need to be... Overlord needs to be antisocial, and she's obedient. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot the maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This might be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. Ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right there? It's like dangerous. The maiden explains she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. I found the verb. You aren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about this, but she gets very upset that you think she'd lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You had to return to the village, certain that she must have been kidnapped. Been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue, and glad that took care of itself. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think for yourself. As you walk back to the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's been bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. You must have done something horrible to deserve that. You seem very nice, you think. The evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You had to call it a day and return to your house. You can't escape the sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Hey, what's up, Karma? Alright, maiden time, baby. Alright, we're gonna obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're up to. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is like right there? You explain everything that happened. And the hero seems to think you're lying to him and asks you if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve. You're very upset this so-called hero would treat you this way and leave in a huff. Oh, what's up? What's up, Marty? How are you doing today? You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you, and they surround you with 1,000 questions and you tell them your story. To explain the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You're loudly interrupted by an elderly man. He calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand, you only told them the truth. Did they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could have not possibly escaped the Overlord on your arm without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing that they're not horrible creatures. They aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. The people of your village always been this blinded by fears and hatred and things they never cared to know? I wonder how you missed that before. You're seized by the crowd and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You're to be burned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder if it'd be better off to hide the truth? I don't like the thought of that. You've always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. He only watches you burn, you can only cry for them. You're so sorry. Alright, we have to be trusting now. Yeet. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you. Even though their story is kind of hard to believe, you feel like you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. Townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They've been so worried, they praise you for your bravery. The maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing that needed to be rescued from the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform this isn't your story to tell, and you merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you in disbelief, and they aren't being subtle about how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking that what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town's elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but the idea it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. You thought the two of us were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her down, and demon friends are already. It doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but to feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden, toward the Overlord's castle. You were too late. Through the unguarded gates, you spotted a group of demons surrounding the body. The maiden, she was a fool to have trusted demons after all. Your hero blood is boiling. You'll avenge her death. Charge through the gates and eliminate every demon you see. What the fuck are you doing killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again, but the Overlord isn't going down so easy. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black, and your quest has come to an abrupt end. Yo, shit's going places here. Okay, we're gonna obey her. He's very surprised the demons don't want to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They'd all been so worried and very glad the hero brought you back. I need to use the restroom. I will be right back in like 2 seconds. Reach it. Today's a nice day. Thanksgiving is today. I'm thankful for a lot of things. Can't wait for tomorrow's early morning sales. Gotta get a lot of bargains. I think I might be late for work. We're having a garage sale. Welcome. What are these voices? My son didn't make it the junior varsity team. Such a disappointment. We invested so much in his sports career. I'm in a bit of a rush to get home. Never took it out. Well, I took it out like last week. So we'll see. Hi. Come say hi. You're gorgeous.
Okay, see you.
You're gorgeous. Gorgeous! Yeah, I met a one Chiron K. Cates there. Oh my god.
I reached the first intersection. I reached the second intersection. It
Can I get
also
that?
had 3 exits, north, east, and west.
Can I get that?
checked them.
What? Hi. No, this is not the clip anymore. I'm back. I realized that was the start screen, and I went to this screen, which is where I usually go when a clip is done, when a start screen is over. And now someone's gonna clip me. I'm the greatest hider in the world. What? We've got yards. Where are they landing? 4.5 yards? Oh wait, 4.5 yards down.
Oh, nice job!
Oh! What a match. What a match. Remember when we played mobile golf games on stream? That was pretty cool. Anyway, they'd been also worried, and you're very glad the heroes brought you back. You quickly set the record straight that you weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look at the hero for an explanation. He tells them that he only ran into you this way in the castle, and this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or other mean things like that. And the villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes you. but volunteers to go talk to the demons themselves, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers and words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. Pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. The old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed in a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Alright, we need this. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. Talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it. It's just the way it has to be. And they suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. Hold on, I think we can... Yeet. You and your friends started to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Use the maiden for killing practice. This is just the way it has to be. Before you jumping her and clawing her guts out. Turns out you're already an expert at ending lives. Your friends call you a show-off. Hey, what's up, doggo? You go back in the castle and wash off all the icky human blood. As you're finishing up, you hear the sounds of a battle outside. A hero has come, and seeing the dead maiden must have made him pretty angry. Get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down before poking your head out. Fought the Overlord and locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond, you have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. You can't let him revive come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make a difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You're the new ruler of this castle and your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that one day they'll betray you as you betrayed their Overlord. Alright, hold on. I want to see this play out. Alright, we're going to grant them the day. Tell her to go home. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause problems. You put on a mean face and tell her to get lost. The maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figure you might as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. You wake up to the sounds of battle. A hero is cutting through your army. As the Overlord, it's your job to take charge of these kind of situations, and you rush out to end the hero's pitiful existence. Vile demons. I shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all. You don't really get on what he's going on about, but you engage. Regardless, the girl's gotta defend her people. Clash again and again, but the hero isn't going down so easily. You're both dangerously low on health, waiting for the other to make a move. One of your underlings appears behind him. They knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but can't you see this was a duel? They don't respond. You sense murderous intent. Your servant tackles you and tears you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. You've done too much damage. You can barely move now. And your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Alright, underling, but we're gonna be much nicer. My blood! You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon for the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls, so they're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden is very upset and you leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot you think. Why give this hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice," and other such cliche hero lines before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends. You're able to slip away without getting cut up by that sword. Get to think if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out for you. Wait for things to die down before poking your head out. Spot the Overlord and the hero locked in battle. Okay, we've seen this. Alright, Captor. Alright, let's see how this works on her side. They immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you in a dungeon before you cause any problems. You cry out and the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell back in your village only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's gonna keep those demons from harming the Overlord? I hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? He's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in the cell. Alright, we're gonna grab the hero this time. Yeah, obey. Grab. Boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there than staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react, and you grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. The hero shakes his head and says, if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up a chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. Now or never, you take off in the castle and the unreliable hero follows shortly afterwards. You burst in the Overlord's room. Oh, we've seen this now. Yep. There's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, and the hero's underling's corpse are consumed by flames. There's still a verb on the underling we don't have. What are these? There's only one hero ending though. Okay, hold on. We can get down this right. Antisocial. Hero flees. Antisocial. So it's dutiful. Maiden is obedient. You talk. Hero believes the maiden's story. I don't think she's antisocial. Oh no, she's got to be antisocial to get down this path. We trust. She's resolute. You're disloyal. And we go together, probably. Alright, hero time. We're gonna flee. We're gonna believe her. Standing up to do, the maiden announces she's going to prove her story to the village. She drags you along with her and has much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits! Huzzah! When you make your way to the castle, a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. They're talking about assassinating their overlord. It proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. You have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. First into the overlord's room, the maiden frantically tries to communicate what you've just overheard. The demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. Okay, hold on. Where's the... Lets out a horrible scream and you back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. Continues to dig and twist her claws on a limp body. You can no longer watch. You look at the maiden, she's crying, hands clasped in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. Two of you, the overlord and the underling's corpse, are consumed by flames. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. Found lost letter 1. My love, isn't it just fair? It just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to be forced us apart like this, it's unreasonable, cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, so I decided to write, and I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more, and then maybe we can write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. Ooh. Alright, Underling has one more ending. Alright, we need Tyrant. We're gonna be Disloyal. Loyal. Hungry. And Disloyal. No, you're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree it's time to change of management. Your friend suggests maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that and you announce your first act of rebellion to take the day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed, but you assure them you'll get back to that assassination thing when you get back to it, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. Change of atmosphere. Yep, we're gonna run into the maiden and we're going to eat her. Yeet. And we're gonna leave. You figure if the people are this upset at the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you commit. Also, they might fight back. You probably wouldn't end well, so you're just one underling after all. They're very eager to talk to you about the whole kill the Overlord plan. You admit you haven't given that much thought, and you only now remembered it was a thing. Your friends question their loyalty to your cause. You sneak into the Overlord room. She's taking a nap as usual, almost too easily, and you silently approach her master. She looks so peaceful. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with that. You turn to leave the room, you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panicked whisper, you ask them to let you out. Seems to have been this was their way of testing your loyalty. What's up, Max Thing? How are you doing? I hope you're doing very, very well. The Overlord stirs in bed while your head is turned. The demon shut the door. You scramble in the Overlord's closet and hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling and you can't believe these assholes would bully you into this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize they set the room on fire. You hear the Overlord trying to, Oh, that's fantastic! You hear the Overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. The letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found Lost Letter 3. I'm feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none have been stayed for the experience, for every tale in its entirety. My critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end, and I'm grateful for that. Hopefully to see you soon. Alright, we have a... Hold on, let's go through with it. Overthrow her, eat the maiden, change your mind, kill the Overlord, and time to die. I figured the cleanest way to do this would be dig your claws into her throat, so you just do that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her blood and cursing you before finally expiring. I felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't able to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room finding your friends just waiting for you outside. They look pleased, and only now do you realize they must have used you like this from the beginning. You're the new ruler of this castle. Is that an ending for the Overlord? Probably. Alright, Tyrant Antisocial. Yeet. Tyrant. Give them a lecture about responsibility and questioning your obedience, and your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, and you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. Dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice, comfy Overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. Fall asleep pretty quick. Just another one of your amazing talents as the Overlord. You're awakened by one of your underlings. They brought you a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. Tell them you don't know anything, and humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home. To your surprise, he figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad you get back to your nap instead. So you wake up to something completely unexpected, and one of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You curse at them choking on your own blood, and you die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Oh, Maiden's only got one ending left. Okay. We need them to meet. So you're not going to be hungry. You're going to be polite, obedient. You're going to trust. You're going to be diplomatic. Possessive. Alright, we're going to introduce ourselves. Oh. What did I do wrong? Hold on. Alright, I have fudged an option somewhere. Alright. Maiden meets the Overlord. Stays with the Overlord. Hero is diplomatic. Overlord is possessive. Maybe we need to be a coward. Alright. Now we're getting booted out. Okay, hold on. Let's just not skip. Introduce. Hey, Esco. Hey, Esco, guess what you just rolled? A 1. Why are there so many bees? Why are they all under the keyboard? All the bees don't fit in this jar. Never mind, yes they do. Alright. By telling the humans to stop raising heroes, she's tired of seeing her servants get killed. That's a 9. You've always thought demons were violent. Hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first. You realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks what's going on. You explain the situation. Hero expresses relief. This thing was a big misunderstanding. It hasn't led to any horrible consequences. Oh wait, we were forgetting to make the Overlord possessive. Wait, no, here it is. You tell her you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous and the hero puts on a brave face for you. Don't let her go. Maybe the demons are evil after all to be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. They fight. They die. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. Oh. Oh, I see. Hold on. This guy's fucking it up. There we go. You trust in bees. Alright, one's free. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found Lost Letter 2. My love, I've finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right, I've opened up my very own theater. Be so proud of it. If you could only see it, I know how much it would have meant to you. Be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going on ahead without you, but thought if my theater could just become world famous, then maybe we might hear of it, wherever you are. Alright, we only have one more person's endings left, and it's the... Alright. Story... Okay, we're gonna let the underling have a day off. We're gonna stay and chat with the... And we're gonna have a dutiful hero who's heroic. That's a 10. That B goes back to jail. Wherever it went. I actually can't find it. Here we go. Return a B to the jar. You know what? I've got another B that I did in jail initially. Alright, skip. We're gonna give them the day off. We're gonna let her stay. You feel a sudden sharp pain in your back. You look down to see a blade protruding from your chest. Oh, that was careless of you. This is how you die. Stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero. What a joke. You're supposed to be the ruthless one. That's right. Humans can't be trusted. Not if this is all they're capable of. You should have remembered that before letting one in. You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he left in the wake. Captured by a demon. At least you got what you came here for. Join your army in eternal slumber. Right? Down here. Tyrant, hungry, dutiful. You awake to a huge commotion outside, and the hero's shown up started totally murdering your soldiers. What the hell, guy? You rush out into the battlefield and confront this jerkwad. You curse at him and rudely inquire his reasons for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding captive. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he's grown strong from cutting down your army, and you're unable to defeat him. Decisive swings, he stabs you and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. Spit curses weakly, but you wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the overlord in the first place. Truth is, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. The title that gave you strength. Use your thoughts as you were swallowed by darkness. 2 more endings. Alright, we need a hungry and a coward. And I don't think the hero can come. Alright, he's not dutiful. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but someone's blocking the door. You have trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. You being usurped? They have 0 foresight. What castle will they rule if this one burns? You don't want to believe your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire, and you can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Alright, we need to... Day off antisocial. I saw! Very excited by that. Alright, she needs to be obedient. We're gonna let them go. Trusting and resolute. And he needs to be disloyal. Alright, let's see how that works. Oops, now we're on fire. This choice doesn't matter. Oh, he's hungry, that's why. You thought you told that underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room. It looks like they took on an unauthorized breakaway from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, and so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. The maiden from the nearby human village. Wait, was it antisocial or let her stay? I forget. The maiden suddenly bursts in your room, accompanied by the hero. She's trying to frantically communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. A group of humans is after your life, and you still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. Okay. Wait. What did we not do right here? Oh, okay, we need to kill them. pierce their chest with your claws and they scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to intervene. They stop moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. Doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns with you, along with the 2 humans. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found Lost Letter 4. Do you remember when we first met? I just finished one of my many scripts and I was proud of it. As I read it out loud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could just live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day even now, and I wonder if someone out there, you're thinking of it too. Is there another, good ending then? Or is there any more content in this game now that we've seen all 41 endings? I'll check the Steam achievements. Okay. Yeet. Explain to the group you witnessed their many terrible intervening twits, and now you're searching for a good ending. Of course, this makes no sense to any of them. Only a maiden will understand your compassion. You trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. Alright, let's fight God. Attack. Let's just say you're right. Perhaps you don't understand how outclassed you are here. Okay, yep. You witnessed 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a Machus as me. I commend your thoughts, your thoroughness, though these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage. You know it's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. Alright, summon. Summon. Masochist. Yeah. I don't know why that word's always eluded me. Summon. Alright, willpower. Hope. Tenacity. Stop skipping. Ambition. Everyone's hearts united, you aim towards your best possible futures, and you unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. You've done it. You've managed to defeat me. Okay, we've seen all this. I'm just gonna skip and see what happens. No. Well, I did my best. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. It's not so kind. You've earned this one, so here's your true ending. The hero who always wanted to become a tailor. The demon overlord making better friends. Or the underling. Yeah, my apologies if you showed up after we've already seen the true ending. We just wanted to get the rest of the endings there, so we fast forward through a lot of the stuff we've seen already. There's Cassigan. There's the letters.
Wandering all alone, searching for my lost love, stumbled toward bed and theater. Though its blaze were cold, I still felt this warmth from them. Isn't that strange? Can't help thinking of your face. For all your tragedy.
If you really enjoyed these game mechanics, I would suggest checking out the Nonary games. This always felt like a much more lighthearted version of it. Nonary. Hold on, I'll show you in a second. I'll just share my screen and you can see the Steam page. Hey, Something's missing? Oh, you're still here. Curtain is closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. Hey, Blue, thank you. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell after all. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? It's because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. Gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart in your hands, revealing... Should have warned you, it might affect what you think of my stories. Can't help but to compare my face to the maidens. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear another... not another ending, but the truth? Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons, or even heroes, really. I was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. I met someone. Another girl. Running theme, isn't it? Maiden and the Overlord. The two were inseparable, and for a time, everything was just wonderful. Their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. The reality for many, here was no different. Despite the best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to be like the types of stories where love conquers all. Where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship, and everything is okay in the end. I lost her, and then I started this theater. Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you! It's been so long. Thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't able to give up because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I'd say the same to you. You know I can never resist giving your stories a happy ending. Of course I'd be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thanks for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. How truly everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. Shit, this was good. Holy Christ. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Alright, that was amazing. Okay, there's one more achievement I don't have. There's nothing more to see, my love, but if you'd like to reset, if you really want to experience everything over again, I'm happy to oblige. Shall we begin the resetting process? There are two options. Keep some of your progress and reset to where you started, or you can erase all your progress. Progress has been completely reset. Does this count as a bad ending? Well, just in case. Total reset end.